Hi guys, welcome to E and P, Enoch and Paul, first podcast, E and P podcast. It's a bit hot in Nairobi, that's why you're seeing the Hawaiian t-shirts going through, big Hawaiian t-shirts, baggy. And this is our podcast. Hope you'll enjoy the conversations, the free speech, and just educate each other, entertain each other, and remember to always be nice to each other. So we were doing this podcast because we thought we'd just have nice conversations with each other. We've been friends for a while.
It's quite long since I met this guy, by the way.
It's been years. Close family friends for a minute. Then we are back together. But basically what we're doing is just, as we said in the beginning, have a nice conversations. And one of the conversations we are having today with Enoch is also about stress, depression, suicide, and what causes them. Because last week I had an opportunity to talk to my cousin, and so she's just telling me, I'm behind in life, man. I'm very, very behind in life. My friends are making moves, money, and I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, guys are CEOs. Some guys I went to, so you have gotten jobs. And I'm like, you are 22 years. Who is your friend is a CEO? She was like, man, they're selling shoes, they have companies. And from what I saw, she had a lot of stress because of it. Because it's something I've been thinking about, especially for young guys like us. We are still young.
Okay.
Of 20s and guys finishing campus, starting life. There's a lot of depression, suicide among us, and that's just a conversation. I feel like there's a lot of pressure to get to our parents' success when we are still 25. What do you say is your experience with this issue of depression so far?
It's something deep, I can say, because first of all, in Kenya, I've noticed a lot of youths challenging each other. You see, if I buy a car today, Paul will want to buy a car tomorrow.
I must.
Yeah, you'll buy. I understand, but there is a process which you're supposed to follow. You cannot just skip from one step to another. Let's say you cannot skip from 1 and then you go to 4 without passing through 2 and 3. So I think most of us are becoming frustrated with this life just because of trying to compare or compete with our friends, which I think that is what most youths are finding it hard to adapt right here.
It's true. I think also social media plays a role. You are now a global village. What do you have to say about that?
Social
media and keeping up. What do you think about that? Because all of us, we need to keep. When you see Enoch pulling up, even if it's a bike, what do you think what role has social media played in maybe intensifying us wanting to keep up with others?
Let me start by saying social media is not a bad thing. It's a good thing if we use it in the right way. But now it becomes a bad thing when I can take a picture of myself in a car, but it's not my car. So the assumption that somebody else will get is that I have bought a car. Or if it was a Lamborghini, wash. Now, Enoch has already bought a Lamborghini. I have to buy maybe a Mercedes Benz. You see, but that is not the true picture that most of the social media stuff displays to our friends. So I think most of the social media platforms like Facebook, WhatsApp, like updating your status gives the wrong impression of your lifestyle.
And I also say, like, we're just using examples guys can understand, Bugattis and so on.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the smallest things, you know, comparing yourself. Your friend has an UFA, you don't have an UFA. Your friends. But the idea of comparing ourselves to the time, I think we feel like we're not moving. Because at 25, the pressures is there. Let's say for ladies is 25. This is the time you need to start getting married. 25 to finished campus, and we know all what is expected by finishing campus. Finishing campus, get a job, get married, and I feel like a lot of youths are feeling like the way the economy is right now, and it's okay with the economy, however you think about it. How the way it is right now for most youths, that is not happening, and so we are comparing ourselves in terms of why am I not successful as so and so. And also I have a challenge to those who are already made it, the guys who have made it, and when they asked questions, how did you make it, they say hard work and commitment. And you're not helping.
No, by the
it's
way,
true. If you just tell me hard work and commitment, I think there's an honesty that needs to be there. Tell guys the truth. My guy, it's hard work and commitment, yes, which you may have, but I know some people. I had an opportunity one day, someone had me speaking somewhere one day, and they were like, I'm seeing something, they gave me the opportunity and I took it. So it's not necessarily blood, tears and sweat all the time.
no.
There's a shortcut, and which I don't blame people for taking. If there's an easier way to go to the mountain, why not take it?
Yeah, if you have an uncle who is working at Safaricom and can give you a position.
And I'm saying, we're not saying Safaricom is corrupt, but we are saying if the door opens, why would I want to close it?
No, just take it with open arms.
Yeah.
But now that is you.
Yeah.
Me, I don't have that kind of opportunity, but I want to live your life. Like I want to work, maybe let's say in Safaricom or which other big company.
Yeah, but you see the problem is, I'm not telling you that my uncle helped me, Kidogo. What I'm saying is hard work, commitment. Man, it was sleepless nights. Bruh, me, I won't lie to you. That story of sleepless nights, yes, I understand it, but I've seen so often that there's always people who hold your hands, people who have seen your potential, people who have seen what you can do, and they are willing to help you. So I think with most youths, that's something they don't also see. So when they see that, the pressure piles up. And I think this pressure starts from high primary. We're always number one. What do you think is the role that African parents have played in putting pressure on their youths, on their kids? Even though it may be well and good, could you say to some extent, and to what extent have they led us into a situation where kids are actually taking their lives?
Now let me tell you. You see, our parents our parents are very nice. They motivate us to achieve certain dreams. Yeah, like finishing school, joining very nice colleges and universities. But they forget that we are not. Some of us might not be on the same wavelength. You see, like I can score an A, and maybe another friend of mine scores a C. that one cannot go to maybe, let's say, Nairobi University. So you see, but our parents will come back at home in the evening and say, you see, so and so has gone to Nairobi University, that's how utaenda wapi. And without approaching that situation in the right manner, you might find that kid might become depressed or stressed up with the time, kwa sababu he or she sees that I didn't achieve what so and so achieved.
Yeah, I remember a lot of guys I think guys are committing suicide after KCPE because they didn't get the marks to go to to high school, and the government now started this thing of everybody goes to high school, and it has its issues, but it's okay. But I'm thinking also the society pressure that is on our parents was what they knew was most of the time was finish school, go to university, get a government job. I think it's only recently that most parents have opened up to the idea of this thing, entrepreneurship, and starting your business, YouTube, Facebook, and so on, online thing. But I think the society, the way it is built up, it's that yes, success should be celebrated, but at what cost should parents push their kids towards this success? And at what, okay, let's say put it simple, what should parents consider success? Because I don't think a lot of people still understand what success is. Because a lot of guys think, finish school, get a job. Whether you like the job, no, you leave that job. So what is success to you personally, Zanok?
Let me give you a certain ideology. You see, first, our parents think that to be successful, you must be a doctor, you must be a lawyer, or a pilot. But
growing up,
but that is not true. I can be a businessman selling some items here and there and achieve it in life. Like I can also have a very good life outside being a doctor. So I think our parents should understand that. Making sure that your child goes to Precious Blood to score an A so that he can be a doctor, that won't help that child. So to me, I think success is not those how can I put it?
Because I think to be honest with you, that's something I don't think all of us fully understand. Because I even think right now, as we speak, our parents are confused as to, in this modern 2021, what success is. Because once you're seeing you guys, chicken farmers, agriculturalists, guys are saying, I'm making big money. But in our mind, our parents still believe, wait a minute, campus is the thing, right? So before we just move on to what we think, because we discussed the causes, and we're going to talk about bullying a bit online, and also some of the things that cause. But I'm thinking most youths do not know what, and it's not a blame, it just happens. We don't know what we want, and also African parents do not know how, they do not understand the idea of being told no. If I want to go this way, and an African parents are not used to being questioned. If you get what I mean. They're not, so their way is the only way. So I'm thinking it leads youth to the idea that they're not living their lives, they're living their parents' dream. So that's why I'm asking for most youths. I don't think they still understand what makes us happy and what is the source of our happiness. Because most of us are living our parents' dreams. So what?
That point is very true. If the career I'm in right now is not the one I really wanted to be, maybe if I had gone my route, I'll be maybe a footballer or or a rugby player.
Mm-hmm.
You remember when you were kids, we used to go and play football,
Yeah.
and we forget even maybe coming back home.
Yeah.
We spend the whole day, maybe from morning to evening, playing football.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice because it was something that we were passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
You see, but these days, our parents don't want to listen to passion.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I love drawing. They don't want to hear something like that.
Do you think it's the hardship they faced that leads them to this idea that what a comfortable life is to them? They're like, what? I don't want you to pass through what I went through. So that idea. Do you think it's one of the reasons?
I think maybe it can be one of the reasons, because those days, if somebody was good at drawing, it wasn't paying that much like the way it's paying right now. Somebody can be an artist right now and earn millions from you just laugh from
I've seen it. I was actually watching a clip about some of the expensive and overrated paintings. That's what came to mind. Yeah, continue.
Yeah, from a single paint, somebody can even sell a single paint 1 million. But our African parents don't believe something like that. I don't want to say our parents are bad.
Yeah, exactly.
But they are nice because they are. I think they are pushing us to achieve something.
Yeah.
But
maybe as I said, most of us are living our parents' dream, not our own, and that's why I think it leads a bit to the lack of satisfaction among youth and maybe the pressure. But let's just go back to social media, because that's one has been a major cause of this issue. And social media, and especially online bullying, I don't know if you've experienced it so far, because me, I won't lie to you, me, I'm not an internet guy, me, I'm not a social media guy. I tried Twitter, I was like, what? This is too hot. Instagram, I can't keep up. So what would you say is the role of bullying or trolling that has happened recently in this space? Because Kenyans are trolling. Kenyans can troll.
I think it's so bad. I've not experienced it from first-hand experience, but I've had my friends who have talked about it. Maybe they posted a picture. Obviously, you post a picture to get likes.
Yeah, that's by the way.
And positive comments.
Yeah, that's what we are posting. That's the only reason we post.
But somebody tells you, ati hiyo sweta umevaa ni inakaa kama dastani inatumia kwa mlango.
I'm sure even this shirt is going to get problems.
No, your shirt is
don't
nice.
pamper me, but it's okay. I'm sure this shirt's going to go problem.
But to another person's eye, anaweza iona differently. So he got some bad comments about the picture, and to him, he took it negative. And I think it affected his self-confidence.
Because I think some guys don't know the difference between banter and personal. Because some guys can get personal.
Banter? What do you mean? What do you mean by banter?
Okay, the guys will make fun of you. It's simple. We'll make fun. If let's say you butchered something like your dress code or something, the guys will make fun. But there's this extreme where that becomes personal, where you're like, when your personal being, personal like Enoch starts being invaded, when your parents start being brought into the conversation, you're like, how did your parents raise you?
Don't get my parents into our...
But you see, that the difference between like, I can make a funny comment about probably the way you're dressed, to now, out of nowhere, your parents and growth starts coming in, and especially with ladies, I've noticed this. Because how did your mother raise you? Kidogo kidogo, it's possible. Out of nowhere, it was all about a skirt. Maybe it was too long, too short, too tight. Whatever happens, and most guys do not know how to handle it. Because as you said, we post because we want people to like. That's why we use social media.
But we forget there are other people who won't like what we posted.
But I'm not, and I understand, but I don't think most people really understand how bad it can get. To the point of, it was a post, something you said, something you did, and suddenly most people are not used to the idea or do not really understand the scope of how bad the internet can be. Because most guys who are bullying, they're just sitting in the house, sitting in the office.
Yeah.
They're not. It can get to the point of where, if you're looking for happiness through social media,
you won't get it.
It's impossible to get happiness through social media. Because even whether you're an Instagram model or whatever you do, somewhere somebody's not going to be satisfied. So how do you deal with that issue as a youth?
As a youth, I understand that we are people who come from different backgrounds. We have different attitudes, and we have even different perception about people. So to me, when I post something and somebody dislikes it, I'll just take it positively, because I understand somebody else won't like it. And if somebody maybe comments negatively about me, I never take it personally. Because to say the truth, people can pay your friends to say something negative about you.
Yeah, and the people trust me, the people who are trolling are very close to you.
No, they are your friends.
Yeah, so
they are friends, they are your cousins, they are your, even maybe your close workmates.
Okay. Because this are
first. Or before even you go, I think when people maybe dislike your photo or comment negatively about you, some are taking it as a competition. You see, if I post a picture Leo today and get 1,000 likes and you get 500 likes, the next day you'll make sure that when you post something, I'll give you a dislike so that maybe your self-confidence goes down, so that now mine can.
For youth, if you're competing with your friend, it's gonna be hard. That's what I'm saying. Try not to keep up, because we are coming from different backgrounds, and I think for today it's our first podcast, guys. So we'll have more conversation. But those two, maybe that's the two reasons we have given. One we have noticed is expectations from society and parents, especially parents, and also youth not knowing what makes them happy, and social media. But now let's just turn to the question of what's the way forward.
Okay.
What's the way forward?
In terms of
what we're discussing. In terms of what we're discussing.
Okay.
What can the youth do? What can the society do to help? What can friends do to help? When guys, because most guys who are going through a hard time we know the symptoms. They stop going out, they stop talking, there are things, the way they behave, and most people are actually crying out for help. Help me. What can we do to help? Especially the youth who are in this, because we know guys are committing suicide of all ages. But no, we want to focus a bit on the youth. So how can we help? And what advice can you give a youth who's starting out? Who's starting out in life? Who's trying to get these things, because success will come. But what advice would you give to someone just starting out?
What I can say,
to avoid depression, by the way.
To avoid depression, I can just say, in whatever you're doing in this life, don't expect that everybody will love whatever you're doing. That is point number one. Point number two, you'll find setbacks everywhere you go. So just learn to accept and move on. If today somebody says something negative about you,
Mhm.
just sit down and see if it is true, and if it is not true, just throw away that comment.
I don't think a lot of people have that, what you're saying.
Okay.
If it were,
The other thing, there's before it reaches to a point that you're going to a friend, if you see, if you want to deal with it, there's two ways of dealing with it. One, I can deal with it personally, but if it goes to an extent that maybe it's causing a lot of depression to me, I can come to you and talk to you about it.
I think also,
if I trust you.
I think also just get off social media for a while.
Talk
Talk at Facebook. What's the problem?
You know we are different.
Yeah,
I cannot live without maybe
a millennial. Any millennial can live without a phone for some time.
What?
That's what I believe.
What?
Any millennial can live without social media. You're born in 1990s. If you're born in 1990s, you can live without social media. Why? Because when did Facebook come?
Is it 20?
When did
28 or?
When did Facebook come? When did WhatsApp come?
Just recently. Let's say just recently.
I would actually urge guys, take a break. Take a break from social media and just load. Asking yourself what makes you happy. I know it's hard because, to be honest, some of us are addicted to the idea of liking and posting. That we're actually not enjoying experiences we have. Because if you go to a concert and the whole time you're just trying to get a picture and you're not enjoying what's happening there, then I don't think there's really a reason to go there. But for me, I'd advise, get out of social media for a while. I'm not saying forever.
Okay.
But detox for a minute.
Okay.
Because if social media is the reason causing it, detox for a minute. Because you can. I just believe it's laziness. You can. Just take your phone, delete Twitter, delete Facebook, delete WhatsApp for a minute.
I don't know if you guys are accepting with what he's saying.
Delete. Stay out.
Just comment down there and
stay out. And that's one. It's something. Just detox for a minute. And also, I think there's a fear youths have. If I come and talk to Enoch as Paul, what will happen is Enoch is going to snitch.
But
if I tell Enoch, guys, by the way, Enoch, I'm just going through a very hard time. My fear is Enoch, and that's leading you not to talk.
Yeah, that is true. But what I can advise is that go and talk to somebody who you really trust. You see, in maybe if let's say you have 10 friends. Is that one?
Yeah, if you have 10 friends,
it's true. You can have 10.
True friends, by the way. True friends.
But there's one who you are confident with, who you can open up, and maybe even that friend of yours that has a open heart to maybe listen to. Unajua kuna mtu you can go and say I'm stressed hapa, kwambia hiyo
common part of life.
But if you listen to me, if you just listen to what I have to say, you might find out that it is something deep and can maybe even lead to my depression and even coming up with suicidal thoughts. So just go to somebody who you really trust and can listen to you.
And also I believe it's a good idea, as you have said, listening. All of us, I believe not all of us must talk, but it's important for all of us to listen.
It is very, that word listening is
not hearing.
No. Listening, kunisikiza. That is something so important in a therapeutic manner. Because let me give you a scenario. There's one of this guy who wanted to commit suicide at this bridge is very famous in the US. It's called the Golden Gate Bridge. You see, it's very high, it's very beautiful. People usually visit that place, but it is one place that a lot of people meet their death there. So he came and he wanted to commit suicide, so he wanted to jump over. And before he did it, another guy who was watching him just came and stopped him. He called him,
Mhm.
and I think at that moment he thought he knew that he was doing something wrong. So that guy asked him, "What's the problem? Why do you want to maybe
Kill yourself.
kill
Simple.
yourself? It's not." And he opened up to him. So after a while, that guy asked him, "Oh, what made you to change your mind?" And the answer of that guy was very interesting. He said, "You gave me a listening
Yeah, not
ear."
a hearing ear.
No.
So I think that's important. Even though we may not have the solution to the problem,
Yeah.
just listen.
Just
I think,
listen.
and also for most youths, and I'll say this, Kenyatta offers free counseling for
Mhm.
youths.
Mhm.
Just go there.
Mhm.
They are very nice, by the way.
Yeah, youth center. It's called youth
Yeah,
center.
Kenyatta Youth Center.
Mhm.
They're doing a good job.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
what I would say is,
Mhm.
for me, and you're talking about Kenyatta, sorry, Kenyatta National Hospital. Kenyatta National Hospital, ground floor, right?
Yeah.
They offer free counseling sessions
Mhm.
for youths. Please take your time. The nurses are very nice.
Mhm.
I personally have been there
Mhm.
on my own will, which was nice. It helps you.
Did you go alone?
Yeah,
You went alone?
yeah.
Okay.
If you have someone to take you,
Yeah.
you can go.
Mhm.
But if you, I feel, because the government is not giving a lot of options when it comes to mental health.
Yeah.
Kenyatta offers good service.
Mhm.
I've been there. They're nice. The nurses are amazing and the counselors are amazing. But for me,
Mhm.
listening is important, and also not only talking to your peers, but also talking to older people.
Wisdom.
Yeah, necessarily, it doesn't have to be your parents. Man. It doesn't have to be your parents. It doesn't have to. Get someone to talk to, who will listen to you. And I feel, don't be quick to offer solutions. Just listen.
Yeah.
That's important.
And what I can say, if you are dealing with somebody who has stress or depression, don't try to offer solution to that person.
Yeah.
Just help him to come into a solution. You see, when, like, let's say if I'm depressed today and I come and tell you I'm depressed, and then you tell me hiyo itaisha ati
Hali ya maisha.
hali ya maisha
Drinks.
tuende drinks, you see.
Yeah.
You'll be losing that person. But when you talk to that person or give him a listening ear, and then maybe aseme, by the way, niko depressed, lakini naona enyewe nikiwacha kufanya hii, I'll be okay. You see, that person will own that solution.
Okay.
So
because I was speaking of listening and just asking people to talk.
Speak out.
Yeah, don't over. If it's not, sometimes it's not necessarily offer solutions. Just listening is important. Find someone to talk to, and I forgot what I was going to say. But as you're saying, speak to someone. People will listen, and those who care about you, because there's nothing worse. Yes, remember, there's nothing worse than guys dying, and we could see it. If someone is going through problems, we see it. We can tell from time to time. There's nothing more painful than knowing we could help in some way, but we didn't. Offer a counseling here. It's not, money is not always the answer.
No.
But offer a counseling here. Causes of depressions are many. We've just mentioned a few among youth, the ones we thought are common. But please listen. And I think, that is the main thing. I think even if we end this podcast now, just listening is, just tell people to listen.
Yeah.